I got cut off here. Wow, okay. So where was I? Yeah. Killing large animals with sharp, pointy sticks. That's what our ancestors did. 200,000, 300,000 years ago, maybe even more. I don't know. Yeah, we did that shit. Now we can't. I mean, I guess we could go back. Some people live like that, throwing antelopes and deer. Now we have even bows and arrows. I mean, that's cool. Oh yeah. But I guess my point is, we were extremely adept at understanding our environment. We knew the environment, and we knew our limitations and what it took to take advantage and take down and survive. Take down large animals and survive. And we did that shit. That's pretty fucking impressive. I mean, wow. But nowadays, the digital zombies, they run funny, in Naruto, ants behind them. They model themselves after the subjective reality. I got a phone call. They model themselves after the subjective reality. And I don't know, I think maybe it makes them depressed because they can't do those extraordinary things. It should inspire them to do those extraordinary things. I don't know, figure out how to fly on your own. Yeah, that'd be badass. So somebody could figure that out. I wouldn't be taking this fucking road trip now, would I? or do the high kick, right? Power projection, right? You see that with the big dojos with their chi forces. No. I mean, there's something to it, yes. Energy work, but yeah, not to the extent where you can fucking, knock somebody on your ass, right? Some kind of chi bolt, chi power projection. No. The objective world is ruled by physics, and very rarely is the subjective world brought into play. Even though life does imitate art, art does imitate life, and we are extremely clever at figuring out what is in our imagination, right, to come into the real world. That's why we see so many inventions, see so many innovations and advances. It's amazing. It's amazing what our intellect and our imagination and creativity has produced, and will continue, hopefully, to produce. But with the digital zombies, I don't see that happening. Their creativity is stifled. Their critical thinking skills are basically non-existent. They have no imagination. All they can do is regurgitate what they see online. That's it. And for them, it's being part of the next fad, being part of the next, we called them fads. Remember that? Oh, it's just a phase, just a fad. This has been going on for about 2 generations now. I mean, I'd say I'm in my 50s. I don't know. Tell me when it started. What do you think? The emergence, the birth of the digital zombie. In the 90s, I mean, we heard of people having cell phones. They're usually big as a suitcase. They're connected to their car or some shit, right? Or, whatever. But, bam, 2000s, and wow, cell phones. What the fuck is that? The smartphone thing. What? Really? Wow, wish I would have had that. Now people cannot live without them. And not only that is laptops. We thought laptops were cool. Now you got tablets. Now you got smartwatches. Smart fucking eyeglasses. You got all these things. I know they're working. The Neuralink, that's going to put that smartphone in your head. That's going to be the next level of the digital zombie. And I'm sure it's going to have some adverse reactions. Oh yeah. Brain absolutely fried. Wow, it's beautiful out here. But lots of wind. Yeah, crazy, man, crazy. The digital zombie concept. Who would have thought? Our forefathers would have never guessed this, ever, that mankind would be ruled by AI and algorithms and constant dopamine hits. For them, they had more pressing matters, like how to stay warm, how to not be eaten, and how to take down this massively large animal so that the whole community can eat for months. Right? I don't know. My phone's heating up extremely hot. Yeah, that's not good. Let's see how long we can last. So yeah, the digital zombie. You can already see the effects. I totally blame. I do not blame video games. Video games saved my life. That and weed. Video games and weed saved my life. Changed my life. I don't do it anymore. Okay, I do feel the need, the urge every now and then, but I needed it at that point in my life. When I got out of the military, I was like, yo, I need to calm the fuck down. I am way too high strung right now. I'm in no place to be around anyone in society right now. And yeah, video games and weed saved my life. And shout out to those friends that helped me out with that in both areas. Shouting you out there, the quest for the golden chocobo. If you know, right? But yeah, it was a way of video games, especially like action-packed video games, fighting games, driving games, strategy, any kind of game that requires strategerisms. That's right. I'm bringing back that word, strategerisms. Sharpens the mind, increases hand-eye coordination. It does. It really does. And it has a way of, like, you forget your problems. You forget bullshit. It's really good for PTSD and, veterans coming back from Afghanistan. There's check them out, Funker 530. They do a thing. Yep, shout out to Funker 530. They do a nonprofit where they build and give away these badass gaming systems, computer gaming systems to veterans that absolutely need it, because it's another way to connect with other veterans that are going through the same thing, get that camaraderie, that special kind of camaraderie that we have. lot of civilians are like, you guys are fucked up. Yeah, well, that's what it takes. That's what it takes to win wars and shit. To kill people and break things, you gotta have this type of mentality. And it's a way to unwind and connect and really it brings you back. It brings you back. It does. So shout out to Funker 530. Check them out and support that channel. Support their nonprofit. I wish I had. I do. I don't need it. I don't think I need it. Maybe sometimes I need it. But I have throughout the course of years, decades, I deal with it differently. So, but there are kids, there are people, grown-ass adults, living in their mommy and daddy's basement. Mommy and daddy's in their 70s, right? And they live in their basement and game. And they just sit there and get fat, and maybe they smoke weed, maybe they do Adderall. Adderall's a new thing now, right? Drink a bunch of fucking energy drinks and just spend every waking hour of every waking day and night on these fucking video games and wonder why they're 300 pounds and they're 25 years old and their doctor is telling them you need to stop, you're gonna have a heart attack. Right? So, and of course the diet, right? Nobody wants to cook, nobody wants to make anything, so it's all convenience based diet, which is your processed foods from Uber Eats or whatever, some kind of delivery service. They're not getting that nutrition that they need, nor are they getting the exercise that they need. They're overstimulating their brains to the point where they're turning into mush. Mind and body turning into mush. And it's not just gaming either. It's the whole social media freaking complex as well. Watching content, making content perhaps, or just trolling. I don't know. Now, there are some, I have to say that there are some very bright individuals in these generations that, are doing innovative things, right? And that's cool to watch. It's great to watch. And it's great to watch them living their best lives. It really is. And creating content and helping people. So I find that promising. I do. I find that very promising that there are some extremely smart and technologically savvy young folks in this generation. I guess with any generation, right? But, especially in this generation. But from the majority, what I see in public, straight up digital zombies, man. It's sad. You can't even carry on a conversation with these people. They have their own language, right? I remember decades ago, right? In the early 2000s, where there was this 9-year-old girl who was considered the fastest texter in the world because she did everything in text speed. LOL, IDK, IDGAF, right? And she could speak that language, and she was the fastest texter in the world. She had the fastest thumbs in the world. Boom, done. She could do it one-handed, two-handed. She could do it without looking, right? She could do it on multiple smartphones and the QWERTY, the Bluetooth, right? The QWERTY, right? She could do it on anything. I don't know. That's decades ago. I wonder what she's doing now. Probably OnlyFans. So I don't know. It's mind-boggling to watch the digital zombies as they grow up. Will they ever grow up and grow out of this? Because I see this Black Mirror, right? The Black Mirror, right? Where it just consumes everyone. Not only this generation. I see older folks, right? Older than me, that just, boom, their head is in that fucking, that cell phone at all hours of the day. I see people running, jogging, and looking down with their cell phone in their face as they're running. At least they're getting exercise. I give them that, you know. But they are totally unplugged from the world. Totally. You know, your mind cannot focus on like 2 to 3 things at once. Like right now, I have to drive, so I'm looking forward, looking behind me, I'm looking to the side, right? I'm also practicing Metsuke, where I'm driving and looking out of my peripheral vision, which I have, oddly enough, 2 mirrors positioned right in my freaking peripheral, where I can see cars coming to the left and to the right of me, right? And I've got a rear view mirror in front of me that I can see behind me, so I can identify, I can locate, and adjust accordingly to traffic around me as I'm driving forward, right? So it is a complex thing, and I'm using that hand-eye coordination, right? As I keep the vehicle steady. Yes, I've engaged cruise control, but at any point in time, I can hit that brake or hit that gas, and I'm out. I know these things, right? Because that's a vehicle. I know also that if I'm texting and driving, I'm all over the fucking place. My attention, my focus is split, and there's a lag time when you go from objective world to subjective world. You feel it, and it gives you that oh shit, that oh shit feeling. Like, uh-oh, I almost hit that truck. Uh-oh, I almost ran off the fucking road. Uh-oh, I almost slammed into the car in front of me that slammed on their brakes because I wasn't watching. We are quickly becoming unplugged from the objective reality and being introduced to this subjective reality. And what the subjective reality is teaches us relativism. It's all part of the plan. It's all part of the plan. You know, maybe it was figured out through some kind of weird, like, oh shit, really? That's what happens? Yeah. But relativism is be what you want to be. Do what you want to do. You can be a furry, you can be a drone, you can be a tranny, you can be whatever the fuck you want. Matter of fact, it's encouraged. You know, if you can't focus on something like that, if you can't focus on the objective reality, and you start to focus on the subjective reality, which is not true, right? Or it's creative based, you can get lost in it. As a creative, I have to, when I'm building when I'm world building or I'm creating a story or something of that nature, I have to snap out of it and come into the objective world. That's why I love exercising and hiking, going off, walking around, doing things, exercising, because it brings me back into reality. It teaches me that, oh shit, I gotta drink water, there's pain involved, right? Pain reminds me that I'm still alive, all these things. My mind gets to focus on my environment and my body, the mind-body connection. I get to build that. You're not doing any of that in the digital subjective reality. You're not. Maybe with the games, you're doing hand-eye coordination and doing some. You're learning the algorithms. You're learning patterns. There is a lot of games do that. Matter of fact, that's how you win the games. Is you recognize the pattern, and you just compensate for the pattern. We're really, really good at identifying patterns. But when you're getting a constant dopamine hit every 30 seconds, right? Because you're ingesting so much content that is just mindless, stupid shit. Like mundane, mindless entertainment, Yeah, watching cats. Majority of the internet is ruled by cats. Cat videos. It's crazy. I mean, cats are amazing creatures, but once again, how many times do I need a cat to, run up the wall with chased by a laser pointer, whatever. I mean, you see it once, you've seen it all. If you have a cat, you already know. But once again, if you have a cat and you're still watching it, and you're like, yeah, I can relate to this, and boom, you're sucked in. You got that dopamine, you're getting that dopamine, boom. And, that's the other thing about these other platforms, which allow people to make quick little videos about themselves, your books and your grams and things like that. I don't want to say their names, but you know these things. And these content creators are literally farming for likes, farming for hearts, and they're absolutely destroyed by bad comments. It's like, oh my god, it's like, well, what do you expect? You'd be a ratchet. What the fuck? It's getting warm in here. Getting some heat. It's currently 68 degrees here in Northeast Ohio. Beautiful day. It's the clouds are crazy. This is pretty cool. Let's see if I can capture it without capturing anything else. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. So, I don't know. Will the digital zombies survive? Will we survive the digital zombies? Or will the law of nature take its course and these digital zombies cease to exist? I hope that they grow up out and get a cure for digital zombieism, and become, back to the objective world, welcome to reality kind of shit, and unplug from the matrix. Because it's done willingly. See, the story of the Matrix, I keep going back to that. It was done by force. We were forced into slavery. We were forced into that subjective reality and farmed for our energy. Here, we're accepting the subjective reality and the slavery and the addictiveness, being addictive to it, and it changes us. Absolutely changes us. No longer human in some cases. Like I said, you cannot carry on a conversation. I can take their phone away for more than 5 minutes. Just take their phone away and try to talk to them. The whole time they'll be talking to you, they'll be wondering what's going on their phone. I need my phone. I need my phone. I need my phone. I gotta check my tweets. I gotta check my comments. I gotta check what so and so said about this and that. I gotta check. I gotta have my phone. Gotta have my phone. Gotta have my phone. You're not making money on it. It's. Are you a Wall Street fucking guy, a trader? You need constant freaking updates, and you need your phone for it. No, you're just checking and moving on. You're checking your statuses, your notifications, and then you're switching over into, easily switching over into 30-second videos that has you literally mesmerized and hypnotized, changing your brain waves, for, I don't know, fucking hours on end, and changing your physique where you're literally breaking your neck trying to watch things. Some people have even stated that they stop breathing. They forget to breathe. You know what else does that? Opioids. Yeah, opioids. Opioids do the same thing. So, it is absolutely an addiction. And it's absolutely detrimental to us all. So get off your phone. As I'm making this video on my phone while driving. That's right. But I'm just driving and talking. We do that anyway. I don't have to look at the screen every 5-10 minutes. Neither do you. You just have to listen to my voice. And the majority of it's the males, men, young men. We are affected by visual stimuli. And everything, the algorithm, everything is designed to grab your attention and hold it through visual stimuli. Women, it's about emotional. And yes, men, it is destroying your testosterone. Do you know that testosterone spikes up when you're problem solving, when you're going through strife, and you have to figure shit out? Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4. When you're stuck on that screen watching for hours on end, mindless entertainment of bullshit, not learning anything except how many genders there are and how to be neutered, right? It is literally sapping your testosterone. Yeah, it's true. You don't believe me? First time in a while I had to put on my brakes. Okay. Just cruising right along here. But hey, who am I to judge? I'm surrounded by other slow people. Digital zombie, man. And yes, the health implications. Oh my God. I don't know. I think history is going to tell us later on that too much social media, too much screen time leads to some type of degenerative mental brain issue, maybe autism, maybe Alzheimer's. I don't know. The way that zombies interact with each other is through text and tweets, sharing things. Sons of silence. Yep, the digital zombie. So that's all I got for now. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we continue. Stand by for another Zoom report, I guess. And until next time, Skull.